Let's start off with the Super Bowl champions, the Los Angeles Rams. They currently own the 104, the 142, and others. Their biggest needs are a cornerback, an edge rusher, and an offensive lineman. AJ, start off with you, buddy. Who is a must-draft player for the Los Angeles Rams?
Okay. Well, as we know, the Los Angeles Rams started the new era of draft picks. Who needs them? And they just won a Super Bowl. So I have their pick coming up in round 3, pick 104. As we know, they were able to maintain Joseph Noteboom after Andrew Whitworth retired, but I still think they're going to need some help on that line. And I have a guy who is a part of the best tackle duo in the country, and that for me is going to be Mr. Luke GOEDEKE from Central Michigan. So this guy next to Bernard Raymond on the other side is a great run block. He has great hands. He's really good at sealing the edge. This guy at 94.3 run blocking grade in 2021. It definitely stepped up. As you see, a lot of his tape came from some of the top-notch programs in the SEC, playing against Missouri, playing against LSU. He held his own for a lot. Now, this is a third-round pick, so he's going to have some issues that needs to be cleaned up. I think his technique is a little messy. He's going to get called for some holes in the NFL, and his stamina needs to improve. As the game goes on, he wears down a little bit, and you can see that if you watch his clips from LSU. Those edge rushers, as fast and powerful as they are, were getting by him a little easier than they were in quarters 1 and 2. But as a third-round pick and a guy that you're going to develop and need help for in the seasons to come, you can slide him in at tackle, you can slide him in at guard, and I think he'll be a good guy for the Rams in the future. Luke GOEDEKE, Central Michigan, round 3, pick 104. Nab him up.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was arguably the best take I've ever heard AJ say. Not just because it was a good take and it was who it should be probably, but that was hot, dude. You had this new AJ is just coming out swinging, man. Came out with the facts, came out with the stats.
This new AJ.
Hey, I like alumni AJ, man. Alumni AJ is where it's at.
I learned so much. You need to tell me if I'm valedictorian or not. I'm tired of waiting.
Oh my goodness. You are. We already know you are. Yeah. No, AJ hit it right on the head. He's a very, very good player. His weaknesses, I'll play the devil's advocate because that's what we do on this show. Some of his weaknesses are he has shorter arms, so sometimes it's hard for him to stay attached, especially to those fast guys that AJ was talking about. He could be a bit late if you see a lot in front of him. He can tend to get kind of lost with blitzes and defenses that tend to move a lot. But you're talking about a first-team All-MAC selection. So this guy can handle his own. He started 25 games at right tackle. He's got that experience there. I think he'll be a nice fit, especially on a team that I don't think you really need to go into and start right away. You can kind of funnel him in, get him some experience, maybe play that backup role like a Joe Noteboom was doing at first, fill in, get some experience, and then go from there. So the Rams have done a good job because they haven't had many first-round picks. They've done a really good job of drafting guys later on in the draft, and having them come in and be productive. So I thought that was a good selection there.
Yep. Aaron, what do you got for your pick?
My pick is also another. It's kind of a late round guy. Maybe some people haven't even heard of. He's out here on the West Coast. He's a defensive lineman. I'm thinking round 4 here. Again, late pick for the Rams. My guy is OTITO OGBONNIA. I think that's how you say his name. That's right. OTITO OGBONNIA. He's from UCLA. He's an interior guy. Now, we talk about the offseason and how Aaron Donald might retire. Now, we all know Aaron Donald's coming back, but this is a guy that can sit behind Aaron Donald and learn, because we don't know how long Aaron Donald's going to play. This is a guy that's big, physical. He's up front. He likes to just plug right over the center, and he just takes up space. And I know, at 6'3", 324, that's what we want those guys to do on the nose. He has really good upper body strength, good against double teams. Some of the things he lacks in open space, obviously being that big, but he had 2 sacks last year. This is a guy I think that can come in, be a project, and learn behind Aaron Donald and have some success being taught by the second best defensive player of all time.
Oh, second best.
I like back and forth from now on. I feel like he was first once.
Over Lawrence Taylor? No. I've said he's the greatest defensive lineman that's ever played.
Yep.
But second best defensive player ever, always behind Lawrence Taylor.
I gotta go into the archives.
You'll never find that. I promise you that. You'll never find that I said that. ever.
Okay. I like watching this, so it's okay.
Lawrence Taylor is just different.
It's nice for the Rams right now because obviously all these picks I feel like for the Rams are depth picks. It's not someone that necessarily is going to come in and be a big time impact player starter day one. Obviously, when your first pick is in the third round, I'm gonna pick up and go continue on this defense side here real quick, and I am gonna go with someone. It's a name that it's very familiar with the Los Angeles area. And before I go into saying why he should be the pick, my pick right here is COBY BRYANT, the cornerback from Cincinnati. But before the B-roll starts rolling, the reason I asked you gentlemen about Isaiah Thomas before the show is there are 3 players in this NFL draft that have the same exact name as superstars from the NBA, COBY BRYANT included, and Isaiah Thomas and Chris Paul, all players that are in this draft and also superstar basketball players of, What?
Good comparison, host. I like it.
Only you.
Hey, man, I'm trying to give some.
I love it.
I'm trying to give some substance here. I'm trying to set myself apart.
Caught me off guard.
You can't find
that. Look at that.
Yeah, there you go. And just to let everyone know, I asked about Isaiah Thomas because, well, first of all, I'm not really an NBA guy, so I really didn't know who he was. I knew who of the most recent Isaiah Thomas, who was like, he's not a legend. Why would it matter that his name is Isaiah Thomas and his name is Isaiah Thomas? It sparked a massive debate on the show before we even went live about Isaiah Thomas being good or not.
We've already mentioned Isaiah Thomas's name too many times today. Let's move on.
Yeah, I guess this is about COBY BRYANT and not Isaiah Thomas. COBY BRYANT, RIP, the legend. But this COBY BRYANT is the pick that the Los Angeles Rams need to make. COBY BRYANT brings something that the Los Angeles Rams need to have. They obviously lost Darius Williams in free agency, but COBY BRYANT, the cornerback out of Cincinnati, had 37 breakups since 2018. That led the nation in pass breakups. He's an efficient mover and what scouts call as sticky. That's one of the words that I found a lot when I was looking up what COBY BRYANT was about. Everyone seemed to have that word to describe what he is. He is sticky. He plays in that zone heavy scheme that fits what the Rams do in Los Angeles. He'd be a perfect fit to play alongside Jalen Ramsey. And it's a pick. Obviously, he fits LA. His name is perfect. It's a match made in heaven right there. And COBY BRYANT is a must-have pick for the Los Angeles Rams in round 3.
LA superstar COBY BRYANT. You mentioned 38 breakups since 2018 or 2017. That reminds me a lot of Taylor Swift, another superstar out there in the Hollywood area.
I can't with you. I cannot. I can't. I just.
You know what's really sad about this, though? I'm actually kind of angry because not even 30 minutes ago did I mention Taylor Swift to our damn intern on a text message. And here comes damn Dylan with the same mindset. Jesus, I got to change my life. I got to make better life choices.
If this guy is there to cover, I think you're getting a going. He's a playmaker. He likes to be around the ball, but just don't let a running back come his way because he's not going to tackle anybody. That's the one thing I worry about in the run game. And, as a DB, you don't really have to, but those corners that can stick their nose in there and make some plays, it does change a defense. This guy's not going to do that. He tends to dive at guys, misses a lot of tackles. But as far as cover skills, especially you mentioned the scheme that the Rams play, I do think that's a good fit. And we always talk about being mentored by somebody. If you're going to be mentored by somebody, be mentored by the best. To go play in college with Sauce Gardner, who's going to be a top pick in this draft, and then go move up to the professional level and have Jalen Ramsey in those meeting rooms and that locker room, there's so much you can learn there. So, and they're definitely going to need a defensive back after losing Darius Williams. So it's a good pick.
Yeah, and the one last thing about him too that I saw that you brought up, the fact that he's going to have to be learning from a guy like Jalen Ramsey. Scouts say he's a great mind. He's got a great mind, and he's great in the room to learn, to absorb all the knowledge. And that's going to be like a theme with all my picks tonight. Is they're going to be great character guys to have in the locker room and in the film room. COBY BRYANT to the Los Angeles Rams. Dylan, take it away.
Yeah, I'm going deep. You talk about good draft coverage and looking like legit into players. They hit on the late round picks. Ooh, spit it out. Safety. I'm going here 6th round. I'm diving into 212, a safety out of Georgia Tech. His name's JUANYEH Thomas. Juanyeh Thomas is legit. Now, I watched him play football against Notre Dame when I went to that game, and he was all over the place. He's great against the run. He's got long arms and can make plays. He's a phenomenal special teams player as well. And that's what you get sometimes with these 6th round, 7th round undrafted players. You have someone, and if he can tackle, he has that great tackling ability. Put him on as a gunner opposite Ben Skoranek on the other side to make some tackles on the punt team. That's what it's all about. You know, he's a good special teamer. He's had an interception in every single year, right? Every single year he's had a pick. This guy's a pretty good football player. He could be a steal in the 6th round. Like I said, long arms, can make plays, and he's a great tackler. That's someone right there. He had two forced fumbles last year as well. I think he could be a steal in the 6th round. Juanyeh Thomas, Georgia Tech.
Are you pronouncing that right?
Not a
You sure it's not You sure it's not Wanye? Just Wanye?
Kanye? Wanye.
It's just Wanye.
Wagner.
Just saying, it's just Wanye.
You
No,
wouldn't know
probably
about
is
that boy's
Wagner.
man life.
you talk about like guys in the 6th round. I thought you hit it on the head when you talked about special teams. A lot of those guys do go play special teams, and the difference that separates those 6th and 7th round guys to making rosters and end up being impact is their motor. And this dude's motor is unreal. He's all, like Dylan said, he's all over the field. He doesn't stop, and he is going to lay a hat on you when he has the opportunity. No, I don't expect him to come in and start somewhere, but that is like the perfect spot to start, is on special teams. Go down, hit somebody, and next thing you know, you're noticed, and now you're playing a little bit of nickel coverage as a safety, or some dime packages as a safety, and you start to make your mark there. So I really like his motor, and he has a chance to make an impact, at least to start his career on special teams.
Yeah, and say
I
what
guess
you
that's-
will about the ACC, but there are some playmakers in there, and Georgia Tech had themselves a pretty good year playing against some of those guys, and he was a big part of it. So we just have to see it translate into the NFL. His discipline needs to kind of tighten up. He's one of those guys that really does look for the hit, but you have to make sure you're sticking to your assignment as well. And there's sometimes he gets a little tackle happy, and it can cost you. But I do like the pick.
Good pick. And you know what else? We talk about how they're drafting for depth here, and no one's going to really become that big of an impact player. But if you can get someone on special teams, that's someone who can come in day one and have an impact, like our boy Ben Skoranek, aka Skronek. Where did he get drafted? What was he drafted? Or was he an undrafted
He was
guy?
either undrafted or late rounder. I'm pretty sure.
Man,
he
you
was
don't even
undrafted.
know.
I'm pretty
How
sure.
do
he
you-
was
how do you-
undrafted.
Friend?
That's your
Isn't that your
best
twin?
friend.
Not
Come on,
my
man.
best
How do you-
friend.
Ben
I know
Skronek
him.
was drafted as the 249th pick.
It was very late. It
Round
was
7.
Very late.
Round 7.
I
What a
did
guy.
buy
And he
his
started.
hops in the
He
end zone, I
was
see why.
legitimate. He was running routes in the Super Bowl.
But that's what, to your point, like the 7th round pick, he made his mark on special teams. And then you have a couple of injuries, and next thing you know, you're in a big game and you're doing stupid things like dropping wide open passes, wide
He
open
had
touchdowns.
fantasy
But
relevance.
he did get that
When?
opportunity to play.
I
When
beat
did he
your
have
brother.
fantasy relevance?
When he
Were you playing in
scored
some special
2
teams
points?
league?
I think he got 1 catch for 6 yards.
When he beat your brother?
Didn't he have 1.6, right? 1 catch, 6 yards.
1.6. I beat him by 1.
Goodness gracious. Oh my goodness.